Alright guys, so there's a really cool event coming up this weekend. It's a 2-day event, which means camping at the track, which is always a blast because you get to hang out with everybody and chill and have a good time. And there's also a team tandem competition, and they allow cageless tandem, which means I can tandem the Miata. So, as you would assume, I was super hyped to go to this event until I discovered that the Miata has low compression on one cylinder, which if you haven't seen that video, it's like a couple videos back. So naturally, I was pretty bummed about this. Like, I really wanted to drive this event. I've been planning to for a while now. And with the Miata being messed up, I'm like, well, I guess I'm not going to the event. So that's that, you know? But then I was thinking about it and I'm like, you know what? I've already decided I'm not keeping that Miata motor. Not only that Miata motor, but turbo Miata motor in general. We are going to be doing a completely different motor swap, which I'll save that as a surprise for another date. But there's really no use to me. I can't sell it. I can't use it for anything else. I'm not going to keep it, so might as well run it, right? So the goal for today is to prep the Miata like you normally would for a drift event. We're going to check the alignment, I'll explain drift car alignment, and all the other stuff necessary. But the main thing is going to be trying to fix what caused the low compression issue on that cylinder in the first place. So I have a suspicion it's a lean issue. So I'm going to show you guys kind of like all of the things that I know might be causing that lean issue or might have caused that lean issue. We're going to try to resolve those and basically bubblegum this thing together and hope it lasts the whole event. So let's get started working on it. Alright, so Kyle is here to help. He brought his Miata, which same exact turbo as mine, just a fully built motor instead of a stock bottom end like I have. What did you make, Kyle?
It made 336 wheel horsepower and 324 torque on Saturday.
Diablo. So I'm letting the garage cool down with AC. Me and Fed have started this new system where we like open the door to the garage and shut the garage door itself, and you let it fill up with AC from the house. So while that cools down, we're gonna go for a ride in Kyle's car. These seats are meant for like an infant.
Yeah, they're really tight.
Power at 19?
Yeah, 19. It's running nothing too though.
Oh, that's
keeps
right.
It kind of safe.
That's what my car would be like if I actually had a built motor. I could make that kind of power. But, you know,
it's fun.
It's life. Motor swap. Speakers fell forward.
It's good. Hey, you want to drive it?
Oh, sure.
Not bad.
Not bad. We gotta race the event.
I'm totally down.
It should definitely be faster, but I'm just curious how much faster it is.
I'm so down to race the Corvette.
Alright, we'll do it.
We gotta make it happen.
We gotta do a roll though, because I can't hard shift in a second.
I can't launch, so yeah, let's go for a roll.
Alright, tight. We'll do it soon. Thanks for the ride / drive, Kyle. Oh,
Not a problem, Taylor. Not a problem.
Alright, now we're gonna actually work on stuff. Right? Maybe? Hopefully.
I'm down.
Down?
I'm down.
Alright. Oh, also, for all of you who wanted to change my shift knob, I finally did. This is what it took to get it off. There's like this thing called the demon key that you have to get out, and it just kept breaking apart. So we had to like cut it apart basically and break it in half to get it off. Oh, there's the demon key that I couldn't get out. So I finally have a shift knob on my Corvette. I posted a picture on Instagram, so you guys have probably already seen it, but if you haven't, that's that. Alright, so first order of business, intake air temp sensor. Alright, so my intake air temp sensor goes down here in the cold side of my intercooler, so past the intercooler, so it's reading accurate intake temps. And we noticed that when I jiggled the wire around, when you're looking at like the mega square while it's hooked up, you would see the intake air temp go from like what it should be, like 90, 95 degrees, and then just spike up to like 160 and back down. So with this kind of setup, you have a MAP sensor which is in the ECU, and then you have an intake air temp sensor. It needs to use both of those to determine how much air is going in the motor, because the hotter the air is, the less dense it's going to be, things like that. So it has to do that to calculate how much air is going in and how much fuel to give. So if it's calculating the wrong amount of air, might not give enough fuel. So I'm thinking that's a potential cause of the problem, so that's the very first thing we're going to fix, and this is what I noticed. I pulled the sensor out, and coming off of the sensor pigtail here is a ground that's not bolted down. So my guess is that was making ground and then not making ground. Also going to check the pins in here and just make sure that they're good and holding on tight, and then put it back together and move on to the next thing. Oh wow, that's not working at all. Alright, big tools. That was easy. Okay, so that's hopefully taken care of. I've got to try to find my connector to connect my laptop to this. I lost it, just so I can verify it's right, but hopefully that should be it. I mean, it wasn't grounded at all. Alright, so the next step is going to be the fuel pump. So I know this is a problem on S chassis. I'm not sure if it's a problem on Miatas, but on S chassis, what'll happen is the wiring to the fuel pump is so long to send power to it, they'll have a big voltage drop, and when you run a higher volume fuel pump like we have to for a turbo application, sometimes it won't feed it enough. It'll feed it like 9 volts when you need 12. So I'm going to run straight power to a relay, straight power from that relay to the fuel pump, and just use the same trigger from the ECU, which I'll show you guys how to do that, so that it's got full 12 volts, because maybe that could be why. Maybe it was leaning out because of that. I don't know. It's not leaning out, but you know, we're just trying to cover all the bases here. All right, Kyle?
Agreed.
Right?
I'm helping.
Helping hard.
Helping hard.
Working, helping hard.
Cleaning.
All right. I don't even know, where is the fuel pump in this? I have no idea. I've never touched
On
it.
the back shelf.
Oh, it's under the carpet?
Yeah, it's on the back carpeting.
Oh, damn it. It almost would be worth it to take this top off if I didn't have it hard mounted.
It's really easy to get to though.
I knew I shouldn't have hard mounted this.
It's right here underneath the shelf.
Oh, that's easy enough.
Yep, very simple.
Okay, cool. The battery's right over there. All right, so we'll take that off and then go from there. What are you talking about? There's plenty of room.
Let's get in power tools.
Gotta love power tools. Okay. Sit up straight, you stupid camera. All right, so the goal now is just to determine which one is the trigger power wire that will run to the relay. So let's see. And I guess it's blue and red here. All right, key on. Yeah, jiggle the 1, 2. Yep, that's it, right there.
Yep, it only comes on for 2 seconds.
All right, so we're gonna cut this wire. We're gonna run this to the relay, and then 12 volts from the relay to the other end of the wire that goes into the fuel pump. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. I'm just gonna do that and then explain it to you guys after it's done. All right, we've got the relay in. Let's test it. Turn the key, Kyle. Boom, it works. So basically what this does is I have a constant power running from the battery to the relay, and then I have the wire that would normally go to the fuel pump to power the fuel pump here. Zoom in on that. So this wire would normally be connected and would just send 12 volts to the fuel pump. Instead now it signals the relay to turn on, and then takes the 12 volts coming straight from the battery and sends that to the fuel pump. So now we have constant 12 volts. We don't have to worry about voltage drop or anything like that. So we're gonna move on to the rest. Kyle's leaving me.
Today.
Bye.
Got this.
Thanks for the help. Appreciate it.
Not a problem.
As much as I know some of you hate it, it wouldn't be my video without this. So we're gonna take a momentary break and do, you know what we're gonna do. So funny thing about this spit bike, you have to keep turning the fuel on and off every like 2 to 3 minutes to keep it running, otherwise it floods or starves. Turn the fuel off because it's starting to break up and be too rich. Oh, and this is how you turn it off. Choke, gone. Kill switch doesn't work. I should probably fix that. Oh, all right, that was fun, but back to work now. Oh, and just in case any of you are wondering, that's just a standard 4 or 5 pin relay. These are just S chassis relays. So I've had a couple S chassis that have been scrap parted out, and I just take all these blue relays off of them. You can find them in the junkyard, things like that. They work great for this kind of stuff. All right, the next thing we have to do is pretty easy. I'll show you guys what it is and why it is probably what caused the wheel compression on cylinder 2 in a minute. After that, we just need to do regular drift event prep stuff, oil change, check the alignment. While we check it, I'll show you guys like what my alignment specs are to get my Miata to self-steer so well and feel good in drifting. I've had a bunch of people ask about that. You may be wondering, how can I do an alignment? Well, I got this set up from Quick Trick Alignment. I'll show you more about it when we get to it. But it's basically I can do camber, caster, and tow, which are all the 3 things I'm going to adjust. I already aligned the Corvette. It looks pretty sweet. You probably can't see because it's so dark. But the front is cambered in some. I set it to 0 tow in the front and the rear because it's a street car. It's so dark. I'll show you guys later in the daytime. But it looks sweet. I'm super happy with the stance of this car now. I love this thing. Okay. Oh, and before I forget, I do have merch for sale. A bunch of you have asked recently in the comments, and I keep forgetting to put it in the description, but it's taylordrifts.com. So thank you so much to everyone who's already bought stuff. All that stuff will be a major help in stuff like going to this event this weekend because I've got a rent U-Haul trailer, pay entry fee, and all that stuff. So thank you guys for supporting me. It really means a lot, and it helps out more than you think. Okay, enough talk, back to work. All right, so here's the problem. The electrical connector can just pop on and off. There's supposed to be a little wire clip here, but unfortunately, mine are all gone. I lost them all like one at a time during the swaps that I've done, and it wasn't an issue until recently when this one, I believe number 2, would pop up like that. Looks like it's still on, but it's not. That's on. So we're gonna try to zip tie them on first, and then if that doesn't work, we will resort to the electrical tape method. This will basically would tape around this part, like on the outside, and then that'll make a tighter fit for the clip itself. But I'm hoping we don't have to resort to that because there's no real good way to get to that. Oh yeah, that's gonna work great. All right, we now have all of the zip ties installed, and now these things are not going anywhere. So one more potential issue solved, hopefully solved, ideally solved. All right, so number 10 on the list of Hail Mary attempts to kind of keep this thing together for 2 days of this drift event. When we do the oil change, which I'm not gonna show you because that's boring, I'm gonna try to put some Marvel mystery oil in it. I feel like I've heard good things about this. I don't know. It's like one of those, what do I have to lose? So we're gonna put some in the oil and some in the fuel, recommended amounts, whatever they are, and hashtag hope it works. Oh my God, look at how much grass is stuck. Grass and dirt from the compound just stuck underneath here. Other side note, these ramps I made for the Corvette are tall enough to change the oil on the Miata without jacking it up, which is awesome. I was gonna make a video about this, but I never did. But basically, DIY race ramps. Very minimal oil on the drain plug. Not oil, metal. Very minimal metal on the magnetic drain plug. So that's a good sign that the bottom end is still good, ideally. Otherwise, we would have, in theory, a lot more bearing material than this on this plug. All right, oil is changed. So now we're gonna set up the alignment thing from Quick Trick Alignment and figure out what the alignment is, make sure it's still good. All right, the alignment is spot on. We're at 74 in the back and 74 and an 1/8 in the front, which is exactly where I want to be, just a tiny bit of toe out in the front. So now we're gonna check the camber. Check the camber. Just under 3 degrees. I'll check the other side. All right, we're at just under 3 degrees of camber on both sides, which is exactly where I want to be. I'm not going to check the caster tonight, just because it's a little more involved of a process. I have these turn plates here to do it. Sorry for the waviness in the camera right now. It's the ISO. I have to turn it up so you guys can actually see. But I'm not going to do that tonight because everything else has been the same. So my caster should be the same. And the car has driven fine the last few times that I've drove it. But just so you guys know, for your reference with Miatas, I put as much caster in as possible to help it self-steer. And I think I got like 7.2 degrees-ish, something like that, worth of caster in it. But yeah, this is a really solid setup, this quick trick setup. For somebody like me who's constantly changing ride height, wheels, and tire setup, and alignment itself, because I like to play with the alignment and try different settings and see kind of what does what and how I can improve the car. Because I'm kind of a nerd about car setup, since I do work in the suspension industry. It is really important to me because you can make or break a car with setup. So totally worthwhile for somebody like me. An alignment for a low car at a race shop that's going to actually do the alignment I told them to do is going to be $100 in alignment. So 5 alignments would pay back the cost of all this stuff. So I think it's worthwhile. I'll put the link to both this setup and this setup below. It's cool because you can take it to the track too if you need to. Works out really well. I think that's it. I think. Let me think about this. Make sure I didn't miss anything. All right. So the last thing I was going to do was just check and verify that the intake air temp sensor wasn't jumping all over the place when I jiggled the wire. But my CO to USB adapter isn't working. This is the one that came with the car, and the one I was using, I have no idea where it is. So I'm going to try to get another one so I can check that before the event. Other than that, I think the car is pretty much as good as it's gonna get. So tomorrow we're gonna go pick up a U-Haul trailer with the truck, load the car on it, do a test tow just to make sure there's no issues, load everything up, and then head down to the drift event. So I'm super excited for that. I hope you guys are too. It's gonna be a really, really fun trip, hopefully, assuming nothing goes wrong. So cross your fingers for me and hope that in the next video we take my car to a drift event and drive it and it's fun and everything works out, right? Okay. Thanks. So that's it for this video. Oh, also, I did check the rear alignment. Half a degree of positive camber, so that when the car squats, it goes to 0 for the best tire wear, best traction, and about a 1/4 inch of toe in, which is good for adding a little bite and rear grip. It's set up fully for rear grip. Would suck as a full street car, but works well for drifting with the soft experience I have. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching and subscribing. Bye, guys. See you tomorrow.